Hey everyone, this is Rahul here. I have a new rig built. A little bit more coming on that in a future stream, but let's suffice it to say I have a 4090 and a 7950 X3D. And I was really looking forward to getting this rig because of the potential for VR. Uh, right now I'm just in the process of optimizing this build pretty much. Getting great performance so far. Did a test flight with a commercial jetliner, the Phoenix. The performance was good. I think there's still obviously room for optimization, but uh, as you can see, I'm getting a constant 70 to 80 frames per second with barely any optimization and maximum resolution in the headset. No compromises at all. Let me just get this bird taken off. So we are at 4,800 feet, just leading it a little bit. Get full thrust, brakes off. So this thing is still kind of feels weird in the yaw, but that's a sim thing, nothing to do with anything else. It's just a sim. So yeah, I just did a full deflection on the rudder just to see if I could reset it. We got 60 knots. Rolling up, rotate. Flying out of Sedona, this looks absolutely beautiful, guys. 80 frames per second. I limited my headset to 80 frames. I can actually reduce it to 40 frames by having the refresh rate. I did not do all of that yet. But 80 frames and pretty much high settings for the most part. Some of them are in ultra. Actually, let me just show you my settings. Let me just quickly go to the settings here. I should have recorded remembered the altitude before I went up. So we have quality and sharpening 100. Actually, this can actually be reduced a little bit. So I have buildings on medium. I can actually go up to high for this one. I'm gonna just go up to high. So for commercial flying in heavier areas, I might drop it down a little bit. So super sampling and texture filtering, anisotropic filtering is not needed. I don't see any difference in my screen. And contact shadows and ambient occlusion. This is something which I reduced because screen space shadows do kill performance. So I just wanted to, so the thing with VR is that I always make sure that I have headroom and make sure that my resolution in the headset is at the maximum that I can have, and then increase the settings. So this has a prop control as well. Let me just look up the pattern altitude at Sedona so that we can do a pattern. Port altitude. 4,800 feet. So we can go 6,000 feet and then, we can just leave it there. 6,000. We can fly at 6,000 and do some patterns here. Fly to the right hand side. As you can see, guys, we have some amazing performance numbers here. So I'm gonna just cut out the display for the performance. Full resolution in the headset. It's as clear as ever. It's as if I'm really at Sedona and I'm flying this plane in real life. Nothing can explain this feeling, guys. Nothing comes close. So just gonna make a right turn again. Going downwind of the runway. These red rocks with all those trees and stuff and sharp textures at the bottom. Guys, this is like a dream come true, honestly a dream come true for me, because I've always wanted to be a pilot. Could never afford it, obviously, and then, I also have color vision issues, so that's prevented me from actually training to become a commercial pilot. And with the beginning of MSFS, I had another mid-range system which I used for basic VR, but then, yeah, I can't even explain how smooth this is. So, um, I think I'll be flying way more GA flying as well for, you know, VR is most fun with GA. Let me get the prop. Actually, the props can be at the maximum. I don't need to fiddle with that. There you go, 5,900. That's approximately good enough for the pattern altitude. We're gonna do a pattern and then see if we can get a flight over to Sedona. Not Sedona, Flag. We can fly over to Flagstaff, that is. Let me pull up these, not the VFR map, I want the charts. So this is something which I still need to optimize. This Navigraph Chats app is like causing me some issues with, you know, it's causing me some issues with performance, like, you know, it's whenever the moving map is on and all that, it's not optimized fully for VR, I guess. Pulling up the charts is also really good resolution. I'm able to read it. If I keep it close like this, it's great. It's like I'm having a nice big piece of paper, you know? So if I have to navigate to the Grand Canyon VOR, Flagstaff VOR, I can do it. Okay, gonna make a right turn soon. I can only imagine how amazing this sim would look like once, or rather the next sim would look like in VR. It's gonna be an experience for sure. Of course, there's gonna have some bugs and stuff, performance issues to iron out, but once that's done, I suspect it's gonna be absolutely insane, guys. So you can also expect more frequent streams from me now that I have a better PC. I'm gonna make sure that I get that. So making that right turn for final. Must have passed the runway threshold a little bit because I was doing something with my stream. Let me just drop runways in sight up there to our 2 o'clock. Gonna make that final turn. Keep that descent rate low. I don't think we do need flaps for this landing. We're gonna land without flaps. Runway is long enough. Once we land, we're gonna do a touch and go, fly north to the Flagstaff VOR. So drop in the power a little bit. So the sim feels really natural in VR because let me just get off those lights. bit low. That was a firm one. Just getting used to this airplane's power. So once you take off the power, the thing really drops. It's pretty realistic. So this is actually a modded C-172, not the default. So it's ground effective and flight dynamics have been changed a little bit. Let me see if I can go back to the let's backtrack to the runway. There you go. I don't think we'll need the full runway, so I'm gonna go for this turn here, the short turn. Should be good enough for our takeoff. I mean, change the time of day to make it look a little better. Whoops. So you can change the time of day like so. Let's make it early morning. Get the panel brightness a little bit up. Let's keep flying this heading. Let me tune that radio for the Flagstaff VOR. Payson is here, Prescott is there, so I think Sedona gonna be a little bit north of Prescott. Flag, Payson, Prescott, Winslow, 113.85. That's Flagstaff. Calm, nav, 113.85. 113.85. So I forgot. So this is one thing. I forgot how to use the the old school radios. So it's been a while since I flew these Uh, Steam gauge, the six-pack airplanes. I might need a little bit of a refresher, to be honest. Let's see. This looks absolutely incredible. Sun falling on these mountains up here, so you bank a little bit. Fly due north, perhaps northeast. So this is where someone who's recently done a PPL, like a friend of mine recently completed his private pilot license. Him giving me the review for this thing would be really nice. Let's see how this works actually. I think I might have to review this before flying. Honestly. Just gonna go fly due north, doing a visual, completely visual. Ah, okay. See, this arrow in the OBS thing is something that I remember. Switched on the DME. I forgot where the DME is though. Okay, fuel flow is also there. I think it's a little bit lower on the right tank. Let me see if I can get my VFR telemetry just temporarily. Winslow flag is straight up ahead north, due north. So I need to revise and remember, or try to remind myself how to use this equipment. Next time I'm gonna be able to review it and get back in with more refreshed memory about how this thing works. Oh yeah, this one does remind me of something. So because like this is there to track pretty much. Like this line, I think it should line up with the lineup. It should the vertical line should line up with the dots, so that way you're aligned. Let's see if that happens. I mean, visually I can see some peaks up there. One of them should be Humphreys Peak in Flagstaff. We're already visually able to see the highest peak in Arizona. Let me see if I can match that up. My assumption regarding how this works is right. Because that's Humphreys Peak and I think Flag should be somewhere there. And the sun shining on your face is something I'll always find it hard to get used to in the sim. It's so real. It's like the glare actually makes you want to close your eyes. So flying VFR into Class B airspace and all of that is going to be super fun with this Cessna. It's a nice little plane, so it's going to be easy to manage in the air, but once I get some refreshment, I'll just refresh my memory on the instrument panel. Let me trim this out. Let me look at what the temps are doing right now on my rig thus far. So I'm maxing out at 65 degrees on my CPU, guys, which is really amazing. So that's something which I never really expected. GPU staying at 358, 59, 60 degrees, CPU at 65, which honestly are great temps. I'm really happy with those temps. Just gonna give that a little bit of right rudder, just keeping it level. So this thing requires your attention all the time. Alright, I'm just gonna pause the sim for a little bit. Whoa. Alright. Flagstaff is at an altitude of 7,000 feet. Maybe pattern altitude of 8,000 feet. I mean, I'm gonna get to 8,000. Explore the city and then go for a landing. Let's check the weather. .310 at 9 knots, gusting 20 knots, and then let's see, charts, approach, runway 03. So that's going to be a crosswind landing. A little bit of mist out there in the distance, which is nice to see. Doing that side slip for losing that air altitude. Coming in at a high rate of descent. Still kind of high, coming into that right altitude. Wind's coming in from the left, so our nose is naturally pointing towards that left side. Got to give some of that right rudder before landing. Crosswind landings in this sim are so hard compared to X-Plane. Just doesn't feel that natural, just correcting for the crosswind and all of that. But still, you know, you can't beat the visuals, I guess. Alright guys, this was just a small test flight I did today in VR. I hope you enjoyed it.